Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Frank Banfield, Kids Beach Club, and we're excited to be back in the Kids Beach Club podcast studio. And we have Danny and Suzanne Davis with us, and they are with a ministry with an organization called Cuurio. Did I get that right? Cuurio, Cuurio.com, and really, really fascinating what you guys are doing because, the internet is a part of everything, right? And the internet, it's one of those things which the internet itself is all moral, right? I mean, it's a collection of computers that are connected by, networks and all this. But it's what people do with it that makes the difference, right? For good or evil. But you've also found, though, that people are using the internet for a lot of different reasons. And your ministry has been kind of a niche. So talk to us a little bit about what that is and what that looks like and what you guys are doing.
Well, we, as it turns out, in these last 10, 15 years or so, the internet has actually flipped everything upside down. The world's biggest taxi company owns no vehicles.
Right.
The world's biggest hotel company owns no buildings, stuff like that. And we all live in a digital economy, and so it has just exploded and engulfed everything. And so it's the first place people go for anything. What we have, like where we live, is on Google alone. There are other search engines, but on Google alone, there are 8.5 billion searches every day.
Every day.
Every 24 hours, 8.5 billion searches. And we have determined that at least 500 million of those are based on felt needs, are searches about felt needs, people asking for help with their lives.
Wow.
Like, why am I depressed?
Anxiety, depression, suicide, hope, purpose, family, marriage, divorce, heaven, hell, love, hate, all of these things. They're searching, whatever they're struggling with personally, they're going to Google with other search engines, but they're going online and searching, why does divorce hurt so much? Why does divorce hurt kids so much? Is there any hope for me? That one kills me.
That's the one that, when people are actually asking Google, is there any hope for me?
Wow.
Or
by the millions.
Does my life have any meaning? Will I be okay? Why am I so scared all the time? Why do I always feel so anxious?
Questions that people used to bring to friends or to church or pastor or somebody, now they're bringing it to Google.
Yeah.
And what kind of answers do they typically get from Google?
They get everything that there could possibly ever be.
Yeah.
From New Age type answers to a lot of people ask how to, a big search is how to commit suicide without making a mess.
Wow.
And they get answers that actually tell them how to do that.
So I'll tell you that who the people that are being found consistently for these answers are not Christians.
Mm-hmm.
They're not churches. They're not Christian nonprofits. It's sites that you see all the time. When you search for this, you'll see them all the time. And their answers are not necessarily bad or evil, but they point more to self-help. And they
worse.
do not point people to Christ. But these people that are searching are not saying, what does God say about this? Or they're not searching God, Jesus, church.
Because they might not even know to
They
search for
don't
God.
know that Jesus is the answer. So we provide them with an actual good answer to their problem, but we lead them down the path of, this is the real answer. We lead them down the path of finding Jesus and then connecting them with someone who can help them.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit. So you got all these people and they're out searching and they don't even know what. I mean, they just have a need. They don't know the answer.
Asking Google.
They're asking Google. So how do you guys intervene there? So you said that you're helping connect them. So how do you fit in there?
We it's a complete system that we've built over the last 20 years. Our partner is actually the guy that built it, and we can basically put anything within limitations and reasons. Basically, you can put anything on the front page of a Google search that you want.
Mm-hmm.
If you have this system that has been built for the last 20 years, it's kind of a proprietary system that we own and operate. And so we create content that answers questions, and we make sure that it shows up well in search. Mm-hmm. And so when people come along and they ask this question, they're going to see a page of 10 results, just like you do any search. But some of those searches will be in there in that mix. Mm-hmm. And so when they click it, they're engaging with us. They are able to see a video that presents them the plan of salvation. Mm-hmm. They get an answer to their question. They get connections to local churches. We actually have it's not really counseling. It's a group. Yeah, it's like a group thing that we do that they can tap into for no cost at all, with licensed counselors and
So you're actually connecting them to real people.
Yes,
not just digital,
out there.
Yes. We started out. Our original goal was for Cuurio to plant 1 billion seeds. But when we got going into it, we were like, people were telling us that that there are ways they can engage with us. People were telling us that they prayed the prayer of salvation. Well, if we're going to fulfill the Great Commission online, that's basically what we're hoping to do. They have to be just baptized. They have to be discipled. So we had to add to our. So this is like where our prayer. We know that is way too big for one group to do. It's way too big for 2 groups to do.
Right.
And so we have prayed that God would just send His Spirit before us, and that we could be a part of building the body of Christ online, bringing all of us together to play our role, to play our part. So what we're great at is bringing the people in. If we could funnel the people to this church and this nonprofit, and so that together, so that now not only will we be meeting people online, we'll be meeting people on the ground, but as they come in online, well, if you search for, is there any hope for me? Cuurio is pretty consistently number 1 answer. But what if somebody skips over that and they go to the next one and it's not any Christian content? So right. Our prayer is that we partner with everybody globally that's trying to do this, and we all work together. So we push all of that other content off of page 1. Right. We don't care if it's Cuurio that's found. Somebody.
Right. You want them to get a Jesus answer.
Exactly.
A Jesus answer. And so people have to go to page 4 before they start finding self-help and and worse. They find, so that people find Jesus, so that to the ends of the world, we're in every country. We have people engaging, so we need every language. It's impossible for one
entity.
So
right.
So we have to join together and everyone do what God has gifted them to do and elevate each other. If we all come together, we'll all do better.
That's right. And it's one of the reasons why
that's
why you're in our offices today.
That's why
we're learning more about Cuurio and what you guys are doing to be salt and light in a dark place and to give an answer.
Yes.
But of course, we're all about preteens, right? We're about giving every preteen a Jesus experience.
Yes.
And in the course of all these searches, there's a lot of parents who are asking about divorce and all these things. And they've got kids who have needs, right?
Exactly.
And not only that, I feel sure that some of our traffic is kids. We don't know. We don't know if they are or not. But what we do know is that they are literally coming to us. We're not going out and standing on the corner and preaching to whoever happens to be walking by. What we're doing is, this is the first time in history that millions and millions of people all come to the same place every day, and they stand there and they go, hey, can somebody help us? They don't even know who they're asking, but they're just asking for help. But they're all in the same place. And so you guys are a part of that answer, just like we are, just like anybody that's a Great Commission organization or that's furthering the gospel,
Right.
Is part of and it is the most opportune time to present that to them because they asked. It's like in the business world that would be considered a hot lead,
Right.
because
They're
they walked into our store,
right.
So that's the most likely person to buy something. Well, that's the same with this. They're open, So
that's where you guys come in with your awesome content and your vision and your. I am so excited. Okay, so we don't have grandkids yet, but they're coming soon. It's kind of scary.
So congratulations, or your kids know this?
Not to that.
Oh, not that point. Okay, all right.
She's just dreaming.
You're dreaming. Okay.
They're starting to talk
in faith.
about it.
Okay, all right, I get you.
So it has been. It's significantly different now. So our kids are in their 30s. They're afraid for their kids because school started getting rough for our kids, and now what kids are being taught and having to accept, it's really hard. And so the fact that you guys are going into the schools with character building. A lot of kids just aren't getting that, and definitely not with biblical principles. And you're able to do that without necessarily, kind of covertly at first, and then getting them into the after-school program where they're getting the Bibles. Those Bibles are going into their homes. Absolutely. When you reach the children, you reach the whole family.
That's right.
So when you reach the children, you reach the older generations, but you reach the future generations. Yeah. And so it's so important what you guys are doing. I think it's the most important area of ministry, really, for the future of the church. Not our churches,
the big
but
future.
The big future of the church,
absolutely.
And for the global church, and for the fulfillment of prophecy, and for Jesus to come back. Yeah. And when Jesus comes back, we want to have all done our parts to sow the seed and use our gifts and abilities so that more people will be with us in heaven.
Amen.
So,
and what we're really hoping is that we're able to work together as the body like it was intended, and not like a bunch of separate things trying their own, to push their own thing out, which is what we're excited about.
So I think about two things that Jesus said. One thing Jesus said was that you will do the greater work.
Yes.
Which is really amazing, right?
That
you think about
amazing.
Everything that Jesus did, and Jesus said, as my disciples, you're going to do that and a whole lot more.
I know.
And so you think about the internet, you think about that wasn't available in Jesus' time, right? Jesus' ministry was, you could probably drive in about 4 hours or so, his geographical area as he was on this earth. But now, because of all this, we're able to do so much more and touch millions and millions of people.
Never been available.
The other thing that I think about is when Jesus said, you will know that you are my disciples if you show love one towards another. Right. And the whole idea of the disciples coming together and believers coming together and saying, you know what, there is a problem in schools. Yep. There is a problem, in our homes. And people are searching for answers.
Yes.
And we've got to come together and love and present Jesus to them.
Yes. Yeah. And so what I love is that we need to be in our churches, we need to be discipling our people inwardly. But if and God is doing it, we don't have to do it. We don't have to try to make things happen. We have to be available as He opens the doors. But we're praying that it's kind of a new concept, but we're just praying that the God's Spirit will go and give understanding that if we can also all turn outwardly together, we can reach the people that are not coming in the doors, which actually are most people.
Right, exactly. Yes. In fact, now for the first time since they were taking studies, more people today in America do not attend church than do attend church. So the church attendance rate is 47% now. Yeah. And and my understanding of that attendance is not like 47% attending every week. I mean, it's 47% attending at all.
Yeah, that's like we used to
Anything.
call them CEOs, Christmas and Easter only.
Right, exactly. And so
that counts as in that number.
That is the in our society, and I tell folks, I believe very much we are in a post-Christian America.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And we see that in the schools because kids don't know who Jesus is. You talk about the families, the Bibles that we give these kids. It's the very first, many times the very first Bible going into these homes,
and maybe for generations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we people may not know this if they haven't seen our show, but the Kids Beach Club television show, we deal with real world issues that preteens are dealing
That's
with.
amazing.
We deal with divorce, and we've got kids in the show who the characters are, perhaps have been through divorce, and how do you handle that? We deal with, loneliness, and we deal with a lot of these real issues that, again, you're dealing with them on the adult level and trying to point them, but we're generating now content as well, and so it's exciting to see how
You guys are the
kind of
answer.
come together.
You guys are the answer for the kids and for the parents. Not only that, parents are going to watch this with their kids. Most parents want to know what their kids are, watching. I hope.
Yeah. We would hope so. We would hope so.
But you're not only ministering to the children, you're ministering to the families. So can you imagine the family dynamic, the changes that are happening and that will be happening at such a bigger scale as time goes by and as God blesses that, which He obviously is blessing. But I did VBS music for 25 years. I led a team of kids in a church, in a very churched community, and it was shocking to me, not surprising, but shocking, when kids would come and they had never heard of Jesus, and they lived in our
2 miles from the
went to our schools
church
that were filled with Christian kids. They had never heard of Jesus, but they became Christians. And then every time we would have baptism through the year, there would be several kids and their families baptized too, because they just needed to hear. Yeah. So the reason they heard is because someone invited them. But if they're not invited, then they're searching online but they're not searching for Jesus. They're like, why do my parents fight all the time? We know kids who were in some of the ministries in our church that were friends with our son, who were like, you're so lucky, your family's so awesome, your parents love you, your parents care about you. I walked around until 2 o'clock last night in my neighborhood because my parents were fighting and I just couldn't take it anymore.
This was when he was like 9 or 10.
When he was young. And, he learned about divorce and family problems when he got into school, and his friends told him about it, So
our son,
which may not have been, unless they were connected with other Christians, may not have been the best advice either, right?
Definitely not. Definitely not. So you guys are providing a place where these kids can come and they're going to be loved. They're going to see the love of God, which they've never seen, some of them.
That's right.
Through your programs, through the kids that are, involved and leading. So they've got peers leading them. And then out on television, and then out on the internet, and all of the ways that you guys are expanding to reach more people. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I guess you can tell we're kind of excited about potential partnerships.
Right.
Because we're very much in line.
Absolutely.
What you do and what we do. It's kind
and
of
what you guys are doing, again, it's so, it is such a time as this. I mean, this is, they're coming. So the website again.
Cuurio, Cuurio, rio.com.
Okay, and so check it out, and and find out more about the ministry. Find out more, and you can go there and put your questions in. Right, you can
Yes.
search your questions there as well.
There's
as
ways to
on Google.
contact us. There's ways to engage in a bunch of different.
And there are ways to
helps.
get involved in.
Yeah, so if a church, if we've got a pastor listening, a church,
Yes.
and they want to get them engaged with you, they can do that as well.
Yes,
Is that
and,
right?
yes, and we have online support groups of people. A lot of people just want to be anonymous. They don't want to go tell their pastor they're having problems, but they might come to a place where no one knows them, and it's online. And we have we have
built a whole platform
professionals.
for that,
We have
so
professionals leading
it's just part of
those.
our.
Wow, that is exciting.
You
So
may not have known.
that is exciting. So, and I failed to mention, but y'all actually, I have a church background. You guys are musicians, or by trade, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yes.
And been in music ministry for many years with a large church in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then 2 years ago, God really called you into this full time, and you've launched out. And man, how exciting! What a difference! So I want to encourage folks to check out Cuurio, Cuurio.com, and be in prayer for the Davises, and just man, thank you guys for coming, and we're so excited to get
Thank
to know
you
y'all
so
better.
much.
And thank you all for watching and joining us today. And let's what the evil one means for evil. He wants to kill, steal, and destroy, but we do have the answer, and that answer is Jesus. And the answer is Jesus, whether you're a preteen or whether you're a mom or a dad or a grandparent. The answer is Jesus. And so praise the Lord. There are organizations like Cuurio, like Kids Beach Club, like so many others that are trying to get the answer out there, trying to get the truth out there. So thank you guys for checking us out today, and we wish God's blessings on all of you watching and listening to us, and thank you guys for coming by.
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having us.
Awesome. Thank you.